What is going on, guys? Welcome to Greggles TV. In this video, we're going to talk about the trade-in values that I expect you to see with the new Galaxy S22 series of phones. Now, a lot of you are going to be coming from maybe Galaxy S21s, maybe you're going to come over from a Z Fold 3 or a Z Flip phone, or even an older Z Fold phone, or maybe an iPhone or something like that. But yeah, we'll go through some of the phones that I expect and the values from there that I think you will end up getting. Now, this information is not official. I'm gathering this information from past performance, which if you're an investor, they say don't do that, but Samsung has followed a trend. They usually do the same thing, or they come within 50 bucks, maybe 100 bucks of what I'm going to say. I don't expect what I'm going to say to be all that different from what Samsung is. I feel like it'll be dead on or within 50 or 100 bucks of what I say. So with that said, let's get into these trade-in values that I expect you will see if you get a Galaxy S22 series of phones. Now, let's jump right into the S21 pre-order and what they gave for that. Now, right off the bat, obviously some of these phones are pretty old, so I wouldn't say that, for a Note 20 and an S20, you're ultimately going to get 700 bucks. What I do expect is, though, if you replace those phones such as the S21, S21 Ultra, and S21 Plus with the S20 names, I think you'll get 700 bucks for the newest S21 series of phones. Now, even if you have something that has, 256 or 512 of storage, I don't expect those values to change. They generally give you what they give you no matter what storage amount you get on the S21 series of phones. So expect to get $700 across the board for any storage amount, any RAM amount for the S21, S21 Plus, and S21 Ultra if you're trading it in for an S22 series of phones. Now, if you have a Note 20, because that was the last phone that came out for the Note line, I actually still think you will get 700 bucks for that phone. You might get 600 or 650. But I'm going to take a wild guess, and I think they're going to keep it at $700 trade-in for the Note 20 or the Note 20 Ultra phones when those do come out. Now, if we're talking about the S20 phones, what do I think you'll get? I think you'll get 550 bucks trade-in value for those phones across the board, Ultra, Plus, or regular S20, 550 again across the board. Now, if we're talking about iPhones, if you're coming from one of the newest iPhones, again, I think you'll get $700 across the board, no matter which iPhone 13 Pro or Mini or Max, it's gonna be $700 across the board. Again, storage will not matter, $700 across the board. If you have an iPhone 12, have it be a Pro Max, a Pro, or a Mini, or just a plain old iPhone 12, I think you'll get $550 across the board. If you're coming from a Pixel phone, I expect that if you're trading in your Pixel 6 or 6 Pro, I think you'll get $550 across the board. And then for maybe a Pixel 5, I think you'll get $350. Now, you're probably gonna ask me, what if you're coming from a Z Fold phone? So let's talk about that first. I expect for a Z Fold 2 phone, I think you'll get maybe 700 bucks, maybe 550 bucks. If you're coming from a Z Fold 3, if they even allow you to trade that in, I think the most you'll get is 700, maybe 800. I wouldn't be super shocked if they give you 800, but somewhere between $700 and $800 for the Z Fold 3. What about the Z Flip 3? That is a cheaper phone. I think you'll get at the most 700 bucks. If it's a Z Flip 5G, somewhere in that, I think the most you'll get is maybe 500, 550 bucks. So there you guys go. Those are the trading values that I believe most people will get, at least here in America, and based off of what we've seen in the past. These aren't completely wild guesses, following the trends of what Samsung generally does. I think it's a pretty safe bet to expect those kinds of things. And again, it's almost like when you buy a phone with more storage, especially if you're going to trade it into the manufacturer, it almost never makes sense, especially on Samsung side, because they generally give you the same trade-in value if you have 128 gigs or a terabyte. It doesn't really matter to them. Where that really matters is if you're selling it on your own, that's where you can probably see some of that value come back. But trading it into Samsung, not so much. Thanks for your questions. That's why I did this video, is I got this question a lot. So thank you for that. Let me know your thoughts about my trading values. Am I wrong? Am I right? Put your thoughts in the comments down below, and we'll see you guys down the road. Peace.